ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Namaste and welcome back, we should say, to the study of Taittiriya Upanishad after how many months? 4 months gap, perhaps. So this is nice that we are able to do this, and this what is that? Since we are meeting after a gap, and always whenever there is a gap in the study, there is also a gap in the buddhi. They go together. The study gap and the buddhi gap go together. So today we will play a little bit of catch up, and then in the next class we will continue. Okay. So those of you who are coming for the first time, welcome. I see some new people. Wonderful. Very nice. Welcome. And those who have been here from before, what should I say to you? I should say to you, kudos for hanging in there. And bhashya study requires a lot of perseverance. It is, and it is a kind of a perseverance that pays off. It is not a perseverance that is, that is some kind of a, what is the word for it? It's not a perseverance that is pointless. It's not a perseverance that you keep studying, and then you just brave it out, and you just somehow get this. No, it is definitely very, very, very rewarding. And it is rewarding for many reasons. It is rewarding because we are truly in touch with the ancient knowledge taught in at the ancient time in the ancient way. This is not an ordinary thing. To be in touch with something 5,000 years ago, that is something awesome. It is absolutely awesome to be in touch with something how it was taught 500 years ago. That is the same way now, regardless of all the changes, regardless of all the uh, advancements in technology, the same Shastriya knowledge is streaming into your room right in front of you. That is just fascinating. That is just absolutely, absolutely amazing. And so, therefore, this study warrants, a kind of a seriousness that is definitely deserving of this study. The second reason why bhashya study, bhashya means commentary. And here generally when we talk of bhashya, unless we mention it differently, unless we mention the name of some other person who is the author of the bhashya, like Patanjali's bhashya or something like that, unless we mention that bhashya means Adi Shankara. No other person is qualified to have that title Bhashyakara. Bhashyakara means what? The person who writes Bhashya, and the best Bhashya is Adi Shankara. And so the second reason why the Bhashya study is extremely rewarding is because we are in touch with Adi Shankara. And to be in touch with Adi Shankara is not an ordinary thing. It is not, it is something which is so auspicious, first of all, because being in touch with Adi Shankara, listening and parsing through his words, understanding the meaning of his words, and seeing what is the purport of these words, and above all, seeing why does it connect to me? How does it connect in my life? How should I assimilate this? This is something, doing this kind of a study is very, very, very rewarding because uh, being in touch with Adi Shankara's brain means that means what? From his buddhi to my buddhi, there is some transmission happening. It is very exciting because his was not Adi Shankara's, is not an ordinary brain. As the Bhashya will show, and those who have studied before, we have pointed out those beautiful, what's the word for it, those absolutely beautiful spaces where the Bhashya stands out like gems. We have seen that. And so therefore, being in touch with his buddhi, which is a very auspicious buddhi, and the study itself is auspicious. So, being in touch with his buddhi because of the words, the legacy of the words, the precise words that he has left us to understand the Upanishad means what? That from his buddhi to my buddhi, there is a direct connection. So what, you may say? It's not so what. If it was a direct connection from my buddhi to some ancestral buddhi like monkey buddhi, then you can say so what. Then you can say so what, monkey buddhi, frog buddhi, dog buddhi, cat buddhi, we don't care. This is Adi Shankara's buddhi. It's an auspicious buddhi. It is a buddhi that is an enlightened buddhi. It's a buddhi that is a Buddha buddhi. Buddha means it is the knower. It is the knower of the self. And then being in touch with that, what do I get? I get this knowledge directly handed to me, like how the mother bird feeds the baby bird. Very, very effortless. And how does the mother, the parents, and it's not just mother, father bird also. So they chew up the worms and the seeds and everything. And then what? Make it into a smoothie with their own mouth. And then that's why they have one of the reasons they have the long beaks. And then and the baby bird has opened its mouth and the parent bird puts it in. All that the baby bird has to do is to swallow it. Now, there is one man on the internet who is a bird freak, okay? And then who is a baby bird freak. I don't know anything, but I watched one video which was very fascinating. So then he found one egg. He did not know what this egg was. And then he could sense it had life. So he took it home, put it in the incubator, and then what? Then finally, after he thought everything was gone and the chick has died, it just came out. It hatched from inside. And then he could see that it was a kind of a bird that is called oyster catcher. Strangely, even though it's called oyster catcher, it doesn't catch oysters at all. Okay. And I don't know why it is named like that, but nonetheless, it is not catching any oysters. It is just the name. So then he tried to, it is a small baby bird. He tried to feed it with his hand. It would not take the food. He tried to feed it with a syringe, without the needle, of course. And that also it did not, it was suspicious of it, did not take the food. Then he little read up about how the parents of this oyster catcher feed the bird. And then he found out that the oyster catcher has red color beak, long, thin red beak. And since the red beak was not there, this baby bird was not eating. And so then he said, okay, how to make this red beak? He went and bought a pair of chopsticks and then he painted the chopsticks red. And meanwhile, the bird is dying because it's not eating anything. It needs to be fed. The little chick needs to be fed and it's not eating anything at all. So then he painted the chopsticks red, let them dry, put a hair dryer on it and everything. And then he put the food in between the chopsticks and then offered it to the baby bird. It was dying to eat. It was so happy. It kind of, it could barely walk. It was newly born. So it kind of flopped over, very excited, and took it straight from the chopsticks. And so Adi Shankara's Adi Shankara is our red chopstick. Okay, so on the path to moksha. That is what Adi Shankara is. Because given any other way, this knowledge may not be assimilated because this is that is that connection. It is the parampara. It is the sampradaya. Sampradaya means that connection to the ancestral lineage of all the gurus of yore. So in connecting to Adi Shankara, we are connecting to the whole entire lineage. We are not alone. We are not struggling with the words of the Upanishad, and we are connected with the entire lineage of Advaita Vedanta. Vedanta is Advaita alone, but still people like to point that out because there are many ways of understanding the Upanishads and everything. And so it is pointed out. And so therefore, this is one more reason why the study of the study is of bhashya is very important, because it's Shankara bhashya. Shankara bhashya. Shankara's bhashya is not something, it is extremely important. And so therefore, there is this, what is that? There is this connection to the whole entire lineage. This is the another reason why it is important. Finally, the study of the bhashya is important because Adi Shankara is our only link to the parampara. The very strong link to pre-Adi Shankara gurus. Because Adi Shankara is not Sampradaya Krit. What is the meaning of Sampradaya Krit? The one who has come up with the Sampradaya, who is the author of the Sampradaya, who has started a new way of looking at something. No, that is not Adi Shankara. What is Adi Shankara? Sampradaya with the one who knows the Sampradaya. Sampradaya Krit, you can find many. In fact, every self-styled God, man, quote unquote, God, woman, whoever they are what? Sampradaya Krits. And people are very happy to start a new. They will say, I have started this new thing. I have started a new Kriya. I have started a new something or the other. And this is what Sampradaya Krit. And then here we are not talking of Sampradaya Krit. Sampradaya Krit, there may be place for Sampradaya Krit. But here what are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Sampradaya Vit, the one who knows the Sampradaya. And so before Adi Shankara, we have only one other link. The grand guru of Adi Shankara called Gauda Padacharya, who wrote a who wrote a commentary in verse called Karika to the Mandukya Upanishad. And so holy it is deemed that it is studied alongside the Upanishad, not even after the Upanishad, alongside the Upanishad. So much so that some of the acharyas got confused. Like, okay, what is the Upanishad? They thought the whole thing is the Upanishad. But it's very, very clear. Those who have studied, it's very, very clear which verses apply to which mantras. But nonetheless, we don't have any other writings. Perhaps they fell prey, the manuscripts fell prey to many, many natural disasters. Rain, mold, and then what? Goat food, let's not forget. Ajabhakshitam, goat food. And then, or lazy brahmacharis who were supposed to make copies of the bhashya. And some of them said, what is this bhashya, smashya, forget it. And then the brahmachari took, and what is that, was missing in action, took a day off when they were not supposed to. And so maybe some manuscripts got lost that way. And then let us not forget that we have been colonized from all the way, from Alexander not so great, all the way up to not so great Britain. Okay. And so such a long centuries after centuries of colonization, and so many of the manuscripts were destroyed by the colonizers. So whatever may be the reason, so many things have perished. We don't have the writings or the sayings of the previous gurus before Adi Shankara. But Adi Shankara is enough because he makes reference to the previous people, and he teaches us in such a way as to include how the other gurus saw it. So we know that we are getting the authentic connection to this knowledge from a long, 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 long time ago. And it is for these reasons that the bhashya study is very, very, very rewarding. And all this kind of a study with this Shraddha and Bhakti. Shraddha means reverence, Bhakti is devotion. With reverence and devotion can alone lead to a personal transformation, which is the reason why to study this Upanishad along with the Bhashya. The Upanishad itself is enough for personal transformation, but then we study it along with the Bhashya because we want to quicken this personal transformation. We want to find out how Adi Shankara himself was transformed as a result of this, and we would like to get that same benefit ourselves, and then we would like to do this, and this is why we study the Upanishads. This is why we study the Bhashya. And so this is what we have been studying. And then the other thing to know, for especially people who are just joining us today, is that the Bhashya is in Sanskritam, Sanskrit language. And if you say, I am going to press the button that says leave meeting, please wait, okay? Don't worry, because even though the bhashya is in the Sanskrit language, the classes are in what? English. Okay, so persevere. And its Sanskrit is not something to be afraid of. In fact, it's very, very simple. Okay, it's very, very easy. And even if you don't think it's easy, it is pleasant to the ears. It makes the ears happy. So if you want to keep your ears happy, keep them away from heavy metal music and keep them in the vicinity of Sanskrit and chanting. Your ears become happy. And when your ears become happy, the ears have a direct connection with the heart also starts to sing. Okay. And so Sanskrit is wonderful. And besides, everything is explained. And so, and then when you study it from this angle, then after a few classes, you start to feel very, very important. Ah, I'm studying Bhashya in Sanskrit. Yay. So, this is something which is very, very wonderful. So then the bhashya will be in Sanskrit, and then so the Sanskrit will be read, and then so the mantra of the Upanishad will be read, and then the Sanskrit will be read. The bhashya will be read. How Adi Shankara saw it. So we will get into the mindset and the buddhi of Adi Shankara and borrow his vision to see how he saw it. And then what we will do with that, we will just be very, very happily transformed as a result of that. And so this is a little bit of an introduction to the text, to the bhashya, etc. Now we are about the halfway mark, or maybe even more than the halfway mark. Let me just see. If I look at the bhashya file, I can tell you exactly where we are. So yeah, we are about the halfway mark, little more than the halfway mark. And then what have we done so far? What is this Taittiriya Upanishad all about? The Taittiriya Upanishad is a big Upanishad that is basically wanting to give us moksha in a hurry. That is its own and sole purpose. And it is both thorough and then gentle. It takes us where we are rather than where it wants to see us. So perhaps the Upanishad wants us to be, come on, get up. Let's just do this. How long do you need? Let us be transformed. Let us be liberated from samsara. Come on, up. No, it's not a taskmaster. It goes with us. It goes with our mistakes. It goes with our errors. It goes with our difficulties. It goes along with all of our complexes. Because these complexes have been acquired yesterday? The answer is no. These complexes are very complex. That's why they are called complexes. And these complexes were acquired a long, 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 long time ago. And maybe even in a past life. We do not know. So to expect them to go away, to expect the self-loath, to expect the self-questioning, to expect the what is that called, judgment, the self-critique to go away suddenly after studying, after reading one time what? Tattvamasi. It is unrealistic. It is absolutely a disservice to say that it will just go away after one reading, where I have been nurturing these complexes and I want to hold on to these complexes because misery loves company. So I want a few people around me to also ratify and validate my complexes. And so therefore, I keep perpetuating these complexes every single day, nurturing them, putting them on top of a pedestal. Instead of Bhagavan, I Ishwarize the complexes and do puja to the complexes. Self-judgmenta, Namaha, Namaha to my self-judgment. Self-loathaya namaha, and all these things. This is what I'm doing. I have enshrined and enthroned these complexes of self-hate, fear, anger. That I am subject to anger is not at all an issue. In fact, I have identified with the anger and I say, I am angry, I am sad, I am upset, I am an idiot. This is what I do. This is what I say. This is what I believe in. And so therefore what? So therefore, these things are not going to go away for a long time. Therefore, we need Shraddha, therefore we need Bhakti, and we have to admire the tenacity and the thoroughness and the gentleness of the Taittiriya Upanishad. And when we see that in detail, we will see this. It is just very, very beautiful. But it is very thorough and truthful. Um, it is not trying to enshrine the complexes at all. No, it is extremely thorough. And what does it do? But at the same time, it is truthful. It starts with a big bang. Big bang. What does it say? The knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. The knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Oh, ultimate? Here we are not talking of the game that used to be called frisbee, okay? That was also called ultimate. No, yeah. Ultimate means there is nothing more to gain. Can I say that in my life that I have gained something? Now that I am having this wonderful ice cream cone, there is nothing more to want, nothing more to gain? Absolutely not. In fact, having the ice cream, then after having the ice cream, what? Ice cream for something else. This is what happens. So I'm wanting something else. Then I get that want met. Then is that over? Not at all. Then I want something else. After that, is that over? No, I want something else. Who is there that can say, I am a fulfilled man? I am a fulfilled person. I am a fulfilled woman. Who can say that? Who can say that? Nobody can say that. Unless one has studied this Upanishad or any other Upanishad, handled by the teacher, it is not, it is, one cannot say that. Who can say I'm a fulfilled being? Nobody. I keep trying to alter something or the other because the fulfillment is not there. I'm not okay. I'm not, this is not okay. If this is okay, then that is not okay. And so, even though I may smile when people, talk to me, I may shake hands, I may do namaste, I may go about my life. If behind there is a tanpura. Tanpura means like a stringed instrument, which keeps the shruti, which keeps the notes, so that the musician, the vocalist, can just go all over the place and then just improvise, because the primary notes of the raga are tuned into the strings, so that you can see where all the musician goes. It's just wonderful. So here, in every buddhi, there is a tanpura. And what are its note? Give me, give me, give me. I don't have, I don't have, I don't have. I lack, I lack, I lack. I want, I want, I want. This is what is in the back. So we may smile, we may greet one another, and then when asked, how are you? One may say, I am great, I am fine, nothing is the problem, I am okay, etc., etc. One may say that, but but what is one really feeling that? No. Inside, this Shruti is very annoying. In fact, I can go like this, and then when I go like this, I can tune out the noise of the universe. The outside world I can tune out, but what to do with this? I don't have, I'm not good enough, I don't have this, I'm an idiot, nobody loves me, nobody cares, I don't know what to do. And so, therefore, the statement of the opening statement of what? The Taittiriya Upanishad is very, very drastic and remarkable. It says, the knower of this Brahman. What is this Brahman? We'll talk about later. But knower of this Brahman is what? Is indeed gaining the ultimate. So then, I want to know knower of Brahman. Mind you, it doesn't say experiencer of Brahman. It doesn't say the taster of Brahman. It doesn't say the one who is sitting close to Brahman. No. What does it say? The knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Oh, oh, really? Then there is excuse me, there is an akanksha. Akanksha means there is an expectation. And what is that expectation? The expectation is, what is this Brahman? What is this blessed thing called Brahman? Where is it? And how do I know it? First of all, what is this thing called Brahman? This is the Akanksha. This is the Akanksha. What is this thing called Brahman? And then when we see this, there is a desire to know Brahman. What is this Brahman? This Brahman is defined, as we have seen, and those of you who haven't seen are seeing it now, from two standpoints. First, from the standpoint of itself. What do you mean from the standpoint of itself? Meaning from the standpoint of an intrinsic definition. An intrinsic definition means a definition of a particular thing. Without something, it cannot be. Like the intrinsic definition of fire is what? That which has heat and light. That is fire. Now we cannot say iron ball, a heated iron ball, an iron ball that has been put into the fire for a long time and taken out is what? Red hot. It has both heat and light. So therefore, this iron ball is equal to fire. We cannot say. Why? Because the nature of the iron ball, that which is intrinsic to the iron ball, any metal, is coolness, not heat. The iron ball is shining in borrowed light and borrowed heat. But the fire is intrinsically hot and intrinsically has light. Okay. So this is what is called Swarupa Lakshana. We have seen this. Swarupa Lakshana, Brahman is defined from the standpoint of that which it cannot be without. So what is the something? What is something it cannot be without? Three things are talked about. Brahman is equal to existence. Oh, it is the existence. Existence of what? See, this is our problem, because whenever we think of existence, the concepts of time creep in, concepts of space creep in. Here, we do a little scrubbing of the word existence. We kind of put it in a kind of a, what should I say, a kind of a operation, a kind of a prakriya. We put it in a prakriya. Like to clean jewelry, you suspend it in a little solution and then all the dirt goes away. So like this, you put this in the prakriya. And what is this prakriya? The prakriya is that which, removes the time boundedness and the space boundedness associated with the word existence. Existence means existence. But how can I think of existence? You can't. That's precisely the idea. You cannot think of existence because it is not an entity outside of yourself. So for which we ask a simple question. What is the question? Are you here? What will be the answer? Nobody will say no. Okay? Everybody will say what? Yes. Yes, I am here. That means what? I know I am. I am means what? I exist. So this existence is a very special existence. Why? Because it is free of time and space, and it is directly the definition of I. So this Brahman is nothing but I in the form of existence. And then what kind of an existence is it? It is again very special because it is not a dead existence. It is a sentient, alive existence. Oh, how can you say this Brahman is alive? Pinch yourself, okay? And if you said, oh, then you have your answer. If you are alive, then Brahman is definitely alive. Why? Because you happen to be Brahman. There is no Atma, there is no Atma, there is no self without being what? Brahman. There is no self. And so therefore what? Therefore, this is exactly what we have to understand. This is what we have to completely be in touch with. I am means what? I'm not just I'm declaring my existence. So if you are declaring your existence, then how do you know you are? How do you know your existence existent? I don't have to ask a friend. I don't have to phone a friend. Hello, do I exist? No, nobody has to do that. I don't need to get a certificate of existence. I am the certificate of existence. I certify my own existence. It is an existence that is self-certified. Self-certified existence meaning I am evident to myself. In other words, the self is self-evident. The self is self-conscious, self-evident self. And then the Upanishad says the last definition. So this is an existence which is all knowledge, meaning which knows itself and it has the capacity to know everything else. Why? Because what we call everything else is not separate from itself. That is why the third word that is used is that it is forever. An existence that is all knowledgeable, that is all knowledge, which is not bound by space and time, and as soon as you say it is not bound by space and time, it is forever. Oh, but what about my body? It is not forever. What about my mind? Never mind. What about my senses, which drive me senseless? What about all this? This is not forever. And the Upanishad says, wait, we are coming to that. But first, we have to understand. I told you the definition is from two standpoints. One is from the standpoint of itself, its own reality, its own nature, its own swarupa. And the words that are used are Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Many times wrongly, what is that? Wrongly translated as existence, knowledge, bliss with a capital B. No. The Ananda here is Ananta, forever. Because that which is forever, there's only one thing which is forever, which is you, and you are a source of delight. That is why the Ananda and Ananta are put together. And then anything that you don't want for 5 minutes. Any object of desire you want forever. So if you want to be happy, nobody says, I want to be happy for 15 minutes. Thank God, just give me 15 minutes of happiness. Nobody says. Let my family be okay for 15 minutes. Nobody says that. Let me have some friends for 15 minutes. Nobody says that. Let me have a job for 10 minutes. Nobody says that. All the objects of wants are forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That's why the forever and happiness are linked together. And so that is the first definition. And then the second definition of this Brahman is from the standpoint of the universe. But why should we be connected? Why should we be concerned about the universe? Well, because it is here and it exists. I exist, and then my existence was just revealed by this Upanishad as free of time, free of space. And then immediately I ask, what about this body? What about all the things which are time bound? How do they connect? What about all the other bodies? What about everything from a tiny little microscopic bacterium to what? To the galaxies. What about all of that? How do I reconcile that this is limitless? Because that which is limitless is only Brahman. What about all these things? Are they Brahman? Are they not? So therefore, The second definition of Brahman is from the standpoint of the manifest universe, which is called Tatastha Lakshana. And here, the Upanishad does a little bit of a switcheroo. It was talking about Brahman, and then suddenly it says, Tasmadva etasmad atmana akashas sambhutah akashad vayuh vayoragnihi agnerapah adhyah prithvi prithivya oshadhayah oshadhibhyonnam अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः. Up till now, we were thinking and we were deciding the definition of Brahman. That which is existent, that which is evident as existent, and that which is forever. This is Brahman. Oh, wonderful, I'm getting this, I'm understanding this. And then suddenly it says, from this Atma. Atma means what? I. From me. From me has come this entire universe, starting with the 5 elements and this own body. I thought I had I had antecedents. I thought the body is because of father and mother, but here it says, I have given birth to this own body. Yes, not only to this body, you have given birth to all bodies. Oh, this is very, very intriguing. This is the second definition. Second definition of Brahman is Atma, Brahmatma. There is no Brahman without being I. So from this I alone has come the 5 elements, which are the Lego blocks for the whole universe. From the 5 elements has come this body. Because it's very easy to see that. Space. Where is space? In the head. That's why one says I'm spaced out. So many times a day, I have brain fog, I have too much space. This is what it is. Space is there. And then what? Fire is there. Vayu, wind is there. That's what makes the joints move. And then water is there. Liquid is there in the body. Fluids are there. Then what else? Earth is there in the form of bones. Fire is there. That's why it has to be fed frequently. Vaishvanara. And also fire is there in the form of temperature. 98.6, that is Agni. That's why Lord Agni is called Jataveda. Jatavedas means Jate Jate Vidyate. That which is understood, while as it is born, it is understood. Jate Jate Vidyate. Jatavedaha. And then so this is something which is so beautiful. And then here we have so all the 5 elements reside in my body. They reside in the universe. You see, it's all one. So they reside in all the objects. And so that means what? From Brahman all this has come. By Brahman all this, by Atma this is all born. By Brahman, by Atma, by this Brahmatma it's all sustained. And then at the end it all goes back to Brahmatma alone. This entire universe is what? Brahman. Oh, so Brahman is this universe. I didn't say that. It's only in Vedanta we have to be ready for a one-way street. It's all one way. Atma is Brahman. Everything is Atma. Atma is body is Atma. Atma is not this body. Mind is Atma. Atma is not the mind. Senses are Atma. Atma is not the senses. And then what? The all the objects are what? Atma, Atma, Atma. Atma is none of the objects. That means what? That means in order to be everything, Atma has to be free of being any one thing. Understood? Yeah, I'll repeat that. In order to be everything, Atma has to be free of being any one thing. And what is this Atma? Awareness, consciousness. this consciousness that happens to be existent and that happens to be forever. An existent consciousness that is self-evident and it never comes to an end. That is the definition of Brahman, that is the definition of Atma. And every single thing in the universe that comes and goes, really, it's not the thing that comes and goes, because that thing, the meaning of the word thing in Sanskritam is what? Vastu. The word Vastu is used for Brahman, Atma. Everything else is no thing, Avastu. That which makes Avastu into Vastu is Atma. This is what is the beauty of it. So that which makes the nothing into a thing is Atma. So therefore, what is this nothing? Name and form. Nama, Rupa. Nama Rupa. Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. So this Jagat, which is just what? A series of endless words and meaning. Word and meaning. Meaning and word. Word and meaning. Word and meaning. Meaning and word. That's all it is. Name and form. Name is word. Form is meaning. Name and form, word and meaning, word and meaning. Everything is a word which is commonly understood, which has a particular meaning. The whole universe is nothing but a series of words and meaning. And then, of course, we come to the question. Upanishad addresses the question, what about my own body? Where does this stand? It is Brahman. Body is Brahman. But it is also a place where I make the error to, to say or to think what? I am as good as this body. Dehe pushte, aham pushta. Dehe nashte, aham nashta. When the body is nourished, hey, yay, I feel good. When the body perishes, is about to perish, no, 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 I feel terrible. And again, so many other wrong identifications are there with regard to the body. Body is fat, therefore I am fat. Body is sick, therefore I am sick. Body is thin, therefore I am thin. These are all. Body is tall, therefore I am tall, I am short. The I, the Atma, which is Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, attaches itself to all these things because of this one-way identification. Because of the one-way identification. What is the identification? Everything. This body is Brahman. Body is Atma. Atma is not the body. Atma is consciousness. Consciousness that is as though blessing this body with its presence. But that I don't know. And because I don't know that, I identify with the body as Atma. So the Anatma, that because of which the Anatma, the not I, is taken to be I, is called the mistake. And here the body is a big locus of error, which is therefore called kosha. Kosha means a locus of error. Why? Because it is koshavat achadakatvat koshaha. Kosha means a place where you keep the sword. Kosha also means treasury, but we are not, that meaning does not apply here. So otherwise we'll say we have a treasury of errors. So that also is okay, I suppose, but that doesn't apply here. Kosha means what? Kosha means a place, where like the scabbard, it's called the scabbard, where the sword is put so that you don't accidentally hurt yourself. To store the sword. And so similarly, the eye is as though hidden under 5 scabbards, and the scabbards are evident. The coverings, so to speak, are evident. Why do you keep saying so to speak, so to speak? Because nothing can cover the Atma. Like even the eclipse, incidentally, on March 25th, we have the first eclipse of 2024. So anyhow, so just like that eclipse cannot cover the sun. In fact, it is because of the sun we can see the eclipse. That is why it should not be seen with the naked eye, because there is no filtering of the UV rays, etc. So just like the sun, the eclipse cannot cover the sun, so we say it's as though covering the sun. Similarly, the light of all lights, the Atma, cannot be covered under any circumstances. Not possible at all. So therefore what? Therefore we have to say, so to speak. Another word which you will hear me say a lot is as though. So this is what is our bread and butter. These are the words we will use, because we have to be very clear. If I say that the body is covering the Atma, then how can it be uncovered? That means Atma becomes less powerful, less pervasive than the body. But that's not true. So here, so we say we start with the body, which is a locus of mistake. I mistake myself to be the body, and here the Upanishad shows us body is Brahman, but dot dot dot, Brahman is not the body. Why? Anyontara Atma Pranamaya. There is another Atma. Oh, another Atma? Yes. What is that? It immediately the Upanishad does not go to Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Why? Because there is another scabbard, another kosha, another landmine of mistakes to cross. And here it's a subtler mistake. And you can't say shabash. You can't say, oh, that's wonderful. And now, before I used to make gross mistakes. Now I'm evolving because Atma is subtle and I'm making subtler and subtler mistakes. Nothing to be proud of here. A subtle mistake is also what? Mistake. A gross mistake is also mistake. And so what is the subtle mistake? Subtle mistake is in fact more dangerous because it's harder to spot. This is easier to spot. This is harder to spot. And so what is that? This is the what is the subtle mistake? The subtle mistake is that I am as good as the prana. And how do I know the prana that prana is existing in the body in the ancient times? You would make sure that the person was breathing. Person is in a coma and not moving. And the temperature also iffy. Maybe little cold they are, you don't know. And then so they would put a small little mirror or a glass underneath the nostrils. Ah, okay, breathing is taking place. The mirror is getting fogged up. And so therefore what? So therefore, since the mirror is getting fogged up, they must be still alive. So the prana means this is the, I know it through respiration. And there are 5 pranas, 5 subtle functions in the body: digestion, respiration, elimination, circulation, all these things. And assimilation, etc. All these things are there. And so all these pranas, prana is there, I am there. Prana is not there, I am gone. And then we can say, we can see this, which is so frightening to not be able to breathe. OMG, how you just hold your nose and see, and then what? You won't even wait till you get purple. You will immediately want to breathe. Immediately you will want to breathe. And so therefore this is something which is very, very, very important to understand. And it's very important to understand because we just have to see that the body needs to breathe. Body cannot live without prana. That's why we say the prana has departed. That's why it's called dead body. Prana has departed. Body needs to breathe. I do not need to breathe. In fact, it's the other way around. The Atma, exists. And then what? Because the I exists, the prana borrows its existence from me. I do not borrow the existence from prana. Second mistake. Then I make another more subtle mistake. I'm evolving. See, I'm making subtler and subtler mistakes. I am as good as the mind. Again, it is pointed out, this mistake is also completely removed by pointing out what? by pointing out the fact that the mind is Atma. Atma is not the mind. Mind is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Mind is me. I am not the mind. This is very easy because why? I can mind the mind. I can say, right now the mind is feeling distracted. Okay, okay, better focus the class. Still 3 more minutes are left for the class to get over. Better focus. Don't get distracted. Let me not think of breakfast yet, or whatever meal may be there, wherever you're taking this class from. So let me not think of that. 3 more minutes are there. Let me focus. So what happened here? I am the witness of the distraction. I am the witness of bringing it back. That means the mind is not more powerful or more pervasive than I. The mind is an object of witnessing by the I. And so therefore what? Mind is Atma. Atma is not the mind. And then even subtler two mistakes are done. I am the doer. Again, doer is Atma. Atma is not the doer. Everything that is done is because of Atma. Everything I do is because of Atma. Atma powers the mind, Atma powers the body, Atma blesses the organs of actions, Atma blesses the sense organs, because of which I can say that I have done some things, because of which there is agency. I am an agent, we can say. And so this agency is attributed to Atma, which is free of all agency. So this attribution to Atma makes me think I am the agent. I can never be the agent. I am not the agent, and neither am I the doer, nor am I done in by other people's doings. I am neither the victim nor the agent of anything, because agent is Atma, victim is Atma. Atma is never the victim. Atma is free of agency. Then, so having brought us so far, then it says that where is this Atma, quote unquote, located? The answer, of course, is everywhere, but it is located where it is recognized, which is where? In the Buddhi. It is recognized in the Buddhi. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. This is how this recognition of this I takes place. And the one who recognizes this understands and is able to what? Is able to gain the ultimate and enjoy all kinds of happinesses. Why? Because the source of happiness is with me. If the happiness is centered on the I, and I recognize that, and I recognize myself as a happy person, then it doesn't matter what I have, what I don't have. Everything is just absolutely wonderful. Everything is okay because I am okay. More we shall see when? Tomorrow. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ.
Thank you so much.
Good day, good night to everybody, wherever you are taking this class from. And may you have a wonderful time. May you be filled with loving kindness and then happy life to all. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.